What is up, everybody? Brad Bodnarchuk, your host of the Brad Bodnarchuk Podcast here, and welcome back to a brand new episode. If you guys are listening to this on iTunes or Spotify or Podbean, I always encourage you guys to go check out the video as well over on YouTube. Just search Brad Bodnarchuk on YouTube. Welcome to this episode as we get close to rounding out the year, and I wanted to hop on here to tell you all that I have no idea what I'm doing. And I say that kind of in jest, but I also say that out of sincere seriousness and truth. And it came to me yesterday. For those of you that follow me on social media, on Instagram, I posted just the simple words: I have no idea what I'm doing, or I don't know what I'm doing. And it was true in the moment, and it's true now as I record this podcast. And I'm going to go down a few different avenues with this, but what I really wanted to share with you is so many times I find myself thinking I know the answer to something, or thinking I understand why something is the way it is. But the truth is, I actually have no idea. And I am literally every day just trying to figure this out as a dad, as a partner, as an entrepreneur, as a coach, as a mentor, as a leader, as a podcaster. Don't get me started on the podcast thing. Every aspect, and as a man in 2020, like every aspect of who I am as a person, I actually have no idea what I'm doing. There isn't certainty in anything that I do. And why is that? Someone that I love and respect and follow, Peter Crone, says life in itself is uncertain. So it is silly for us to try to force certainty into something that is so uncertain. It's like that square peg in a round hole, or round peg in a square hole scenario. You get what I'm talking about. We can't force these things. We have to just accept that I only know what I know, and what I know is a very, very, very small amount. But the reason it may seem like I know what I'm doing is because I come on here and do this. Is because I have coaching programs. Is because I've achieved certain things in my life that maybe to outsiders may look like, oh my gosh, Brad really has he has it understood. He knows what's going on. But I know, well, because of me, I know that I don't. And I also know from talking to people that are quote unquote more successful than me, people that I look up to, people that I look to emulate, mentors of mine, if you will, they say the exact same thing. They have no idea what they are doing. Is that extreme? Sure. Is it dramatic? Maybe, but it's true. Are there certain things that they know and I know and you know really, really, really well? For example, like how to record a podcast. I can do that now basically with my eyes shut. But as far as the other aspects of what this podcast is or could be, I don't want to kid myself that I know what I'm doing, because I really don't. I'm just working every single day to try and figure this out. And the pace at which the world is moving right now, it is almost impossible to expect anyone, including ourselves, this is where the empathy piece comes in, to know what we're doing. And the fact that there is so much information out there, a lot of it free, which is amazing, it allows for us to really sit there and go, wow, I actually had no idea. I had no idea this existed, or I had no idea this was an approach, or I had no idea this was a way I could grow my business, or how I could parent, or how I could love, or how I could be loved. And I think that is the beautiful part. The beautiful part is being vulnerable, not only with yourself and admitting that you don't know, but also with the world outside of you, whether that's you hop on a podcast like this, or you post it on Instagram, or you just say it to, your family and friends. You just say like, hey guys, just so we're all clear, I've got no idea what I'm doing. And there's beauty in that. And there's this, what comes with a statement like that comes this ability to just let go, and let go of trying to know everything, because it's not possible, and trying to always be the expert, which I really don't want to be. I want to be someone who is looked to for real, genuine, sincere information. And I can't be more sincere than saying, I don't know what I'm doing. But one thing I do know, or at least I am learning, is the reason I wanted to hop on this podcast to back up this whole I don't know thing. I do know now that life is a mountain. Stay with me here. Over the past 3 weeks, over the past month, basically, I've gone through a ton of, for lack of a better term, like awakenings, where I'm becoming more enlightened with my life and how it's impacting not only myself, but others around me, my choices and how they're impacting me and others around me, and my actions. And I understand now on a fundamental level that my life and your life and everyone around us is a mountain. And here's how I look at it from my paradigm. For me, the top of the mountain is certain goals, whether it is I wish to have intense inner enlightenment, or I have some financial goals, or I have some like family goals or business goals. That for me is the top of the mountain. These things are at the top of the mountain where I'm like measuring, like when I get to the top of the mountain, this is what I should be experiencing. But the trick is, and what I'm noticing is, I will start up a path up the mountain, up my mountain to my goals. And along the way to my path, I will have my feet knocked out from underneath me, or I will have a massive boulder in the way, or I will have a tree knocked down. Obviously, this isn't literal, this is figurative. I will have something that tells me the path that you're on right now isn't working and won't work to get you to where you want to go. Now, here's the key difference. The key difference is I am willing to, more than most people that I know, this isn't passing judgment, this is just me reporting, I am willing to walk back down, sit at the bottom of the hill, survey the entire thing, or mountain, I should say, not hill, survey the entire mountain and look at a new way of going up it. So what I mean by that is I am rigid on my outcome, but I am flexible on my path. And that's something that I've understood now for years, but only now I'm able to really, really understand that quote and go like, yes, I am willing to do that, where I don't think most people are. And that's okay. There's no judgment there. And for a lot of us, the mountain and the path up it offers certain stops, certain lookouts, if you will, certain checkpoints that a lot of us are more than happy to sit there and go like, I'm good. This is good. Whether it's a financial thing, whether it's achieving a certain family reality, or you purchased a home, whatever it is, that's unique to you and that's totally cool. And I appreciate and respect that. But for me, I am so committed to getting the most part of me out of myself that I can't not try again to get to the top of the hill. So if there is that tree down, or the path is flooded, or there's a massive boulder or a rock slide, whatever it is, I am so committed to going back down to the bottom of the hill and trying anything, literally anything again, to get me back to the top, or to the top of that mountain. I want to go past where I was, but I'm willing to find a different way. And I think that is the definition of entrepreneur. I think that is the definition of someone who is just dogged in their approach. And that is where I am at mentally. And I'm just now trying to figure out, hence the I don't know anything. I'm trying to figure out what that path looks like. Is it free webinars? I don't know. Is it more programs? I don't know. Is it more podcasts, less podcast? I don't know. And I don't know today, and I don't know that I'll know tomorrow. But I'm understanding that that's okay. And I'm also understanding that whenever I have climbed mountains, literally climbed mountains before, guess what else I come across on those mountains? Besides the beautiful view and the scenery and the outside air and the sunshine, all those things, what else do I come across? Other people. Everything that I'm trying to do has been done before. All of it. So I have the ability to, on my journey up this mountain, that is life, just like you do as well, there are so many people around us. Like I said, there's so much free information right now. You can learn basically whatever you want. So it would be ignorant for me to climb up my mountain that is life with my head down and ignoring everyone that's either climbing up next to me or in front of me or behind me, or that's even coming down because they now have to deviate their path as well. I can say, hey, like, do you mind if I ask, what was it for you that wasn't working? What was it for you that you've just discovered? And then perhaps they can say, like, you know what? A mile up or 5 kilometers up, you're going to come to a fork in the road. I went left. I feel like you should go right. That is great intel to have. And you wouldn't get it if you were a proud person. You wouldn't achieve that wisdom if you were ignorant to the fact that this is a gift. There are people around us that are experiencing the same stuff. And maybe they're a few steps ahead of us. How cool is it if we can just reach out to them and say, like, hey, do you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes for a phone call? I'm trying to better understand how to achieve this. I would be very surprised if anyone who is on that same path or journey would say no. I really would be surprised, because I know for me, I'm more than willing to give time to anyone who says, like, hey, can you help with X? If I feel like I can, I will. But I'll also be very, very clear, open, and honest at the very beginning of the conversation, say, like, hey, just so we're clear, I don't know what I'm doing, which may not instill a lot of faith in them in my advice, but you get what I'm saying. This journey, this thing that is life, is a big, dark, hairy, scary, wet, slippery, steep, beautiful, sunny, green. Like, it is all those things. That life is this mountain. It is horrendous. It is beautiful. It is difficult. It is easy. But I understand now more so than ever that I am willing to commit to different ways every single day if I have to. If I have to try something different, I am willing to do that if it's going to mean I'm going to get closer to achieving what I set out personally. Again, this is me personally. And perhaps on the mountain, I'll pass people that are totally and incredibly happy with where they're at on the mountain. And maybe that is their mountain. Maybe that's the top of their mountain, figuratively speaking. Maybe that's them. Maybe that they're sorted and they're good. And that's totally okay as well. Because I guarantee you, a lot of my goals, if I was to share them with other people, they may think they're crazy and unrealistic. And I promise you, others would say they're not big enough. They're doused in fear. And I'm actually not even beginning to fully understand my true potential. So understand that your mountain could be, and likely is, a lot different than mine, your brothers, your mothers, your fathers, your cousins, your best friends. But there's so much we can learn from each other if we're open and vulnerable to say, I don't know what I'm doing. Are you able to help? What can you offer me as I go through this process? And just be super vulnerable and say, like, I don't know. And that for me is such a tough thing to say, because I pride myself so much, because of fear, probably because of the fear of not being held in a certain light in other people's eyes. I fear people will no longer, quote unquote, need me. So I've positioned myself to be a resource. But the truth is, I'm just trying to figure this all out as well. Every single day is a discovery for me. And I'm embracing that at 38 years old more than I ever have. And I have no expectations. This is true. I have no expectations that at 39 or 40 or 47 or 50 that I'm going to understand any of it. Will I know a few more things? Sure. Will I actually know what I'm doing? No. And that's looking at me and parenting, I think I am a phenomenal parent, a great parent. Do I know what I'm doing? Absolutely not. Why do I know that? Is because every day my kids change, and every day I'm learning something new in regards to a new approach to speak to them, or or be with them or play with them or educate them. So it's impossible. It is actually impossible for me to know everything about being a great parent. But I know that I'm committed to being a great parent. But I understand that that is a process. And perhaps the top of my mountain, as I work through this live on this podcast right now, perhaps I will never get there. And I'm actually okay with that. Because it isn't actually about, we know this, we've heard this so many times. It's pretty philosophical, but it's not about the goal. It's not about reaching the top of the mountain. It's actually about the journey. And that's where all of our stories come from. And that's, for me, again, as I'm saying this out loud, that for me is where my value is with people like my client, in my mastermind groups, and with this podcast is I'm just sharing steps along my journey that have worked for me. I'm not saying that this is the be all and end all, nor do I feel like any of you are when you speak, or anyone that I follow in regards to mentors, coaches, influencers, etc. There is just this beauty in vulnerability and saying, hey, I only know what I know. I'm open to sharing it, but just so we're clear, I actually don't know. And there is so much a beauty again in vulnerability. And looking at my children. Why are they so, in my eyes and my partner's eyes, why are they so precious? Is because they're so vulnerable. And we can tap into that as adults. We can tap into that as people that are becoming more and more mentally, emotionally, spiritually aware. Like, the vulnerability piece is actually a truly endearing and connecting piece. I can't connect with you if you have walls up. You can't connect with me if I say that I know everything. And I can't learn anything from you if you say the same. So if we want to be connected and we want to learn from each other, we have to be able to say, like, I'm a student every single day and I'm here to learn. And I believe that as well. I believe that everyone I come across, every single person I come across is teaching me something. And it'd be ignorant for me to not take a moment to listen. So if you're out there and we've ever spoken, thank you for teaching me. I truly appreciate it. I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you took something from this. I hope you understand that when I say I know nothing, I mean that. I am just learning. And likely you are as well. Or maybe you do know everything. And that's cool too. If that's the case, please write a book and send me the link so I can buy it yesterday. So I can start learning from you as well. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all your support. Before I let you go officially, I will let you know that LTR intake is live right now. You can access that through bradbodnarchuk.com/programs. Also, the UMP Mastermind, the January, February, we have a few seats left. If you want to get in that is a group for men. It's a men's only mastermind group. It's something that I'm super proud to facilitate, and would love to see you guys in there. So yeah, it's for men, and I think it's such a great place for things like this, for vulnerability. So LTR2 live intake is right now through the website, and UMP, which is the Unstoppable Mindset Project. That intake is also live for the January, February first session, which is a 6-week session. I would love to see you guys in there. I appreciate you all. Have an amazing day. We are so close to Christmas, which means we're so close to the end of 2020, which means we get to hit reset and smash 2021 with all of our goals, all of our intentions, but not forgetting that we don't know anything. Appreciate you guys. Have an amazing day. Be good to each other. And we'll see you next time for a brand new episode. Peace.